Have you got 10 minutes for a 10-minute make?
Well, hello. I hope you've got 10 minutes because this video is 10 minutes long. However, the make took me a good deal longer than 10 minutes because I spent the first 6 minutes taking out little labels out the box and prevaricating over what to use. And it was just a bit of a joke for a 10-minute make. These are used as tuck spots in the trifold, but I've decided I'm going to use them belly bands. See, look at that time. 6:30. You can see the time clicking down. Not done anything yet. Nothing. And I know this, and I'm saying it on the real video recording. But do I start doing something? Not until about now. Because at this point, what I suddenly think is I'm going to use these Step Apta ones that were the wrong colour when I was going to use them elsewhere, and I decide I'm actually going to stamp over them with this faded wallpaper stamp just to give them a wee bit more interest. Then this is sari silk that I'm sticking down first underneath. The whole of this video actually was nearly an hour long. Then I'm sticking the die cut on top of the sari silk, and then I decide that I want to use one of the flowers. So of course we've now got to start additioning all the flowers, haven't we? Even though I said when I put the first one on, oh, the black one's too dark, I still additioned them all. And then I saw this wee coloured one, and the wee coloured one, this is where the alarm goes off just about here. The wee coloured one looked quite good. And then I put a little sticker, a little label over the stalk. Really liked how that turned out. But I then decided it looked very empty the other side. So I went over the other side of my room to go and find my box with all my dried leaves and flowers in, because I knew I had a bit of fern, and I thought, well, maybe I'll put a bit of fern on there. All the time knowing the time's ticking away, you've already gone over 10 minutes, and you're going to have to make a pocket or something because you can't just put this in as it is. I even say that in the video, and then I start auditioning other bits of greenery that maybe I can use instead, as if they're not going to collapse. Anyway, I finally come to my senses and stop. Think, well, maybe if I put another flower, another bit of, get them out again, don't I? Get them out again. And so, no, this isn't going to work either. So I think, how about stamping something on? So I get a stamp that's way too big, but I still take it out and try and think, just like finally see sense. Then decide, right, well, no, I must, stamp's the answer, stamp. So I go digging for another stamp, and eventually I find this stamp from Chocolate Baroque, which is bamboo, but it's the height of it that really makes me decide to go for it. And we put it on with some sweet plum, just because I've been using the sweet plum for the stamping over the Step Apta die. That Step Apta die number, if you're interested, is 666906. And we've gone all the way back down to the 10 minutes. So that's 20 minutes of faff for something that probably actually working on only was about 3 or 4 minutes. So I move on to this next one. And this one goes a bit quicker. Sometimes I find the sari silk's too wide, so this I tore that in half, so it's half width, and it's a better width like that. And then I decided I actually didn't want to put this sari silk on this on top of the sari silk this time, because well, you can see I'm kind of auditioning the pieces, and I suddenly realised actually I wanted the bit at the bottom, and then I remembered the ferns and thought, well, yes, I could make it, if I made it wavy a bit, it'd be a bit kind of fern-like. And how much dipping of glue do you need to do in these? But anyway, so I've put it down, and now you see I'm gently using the cloth to give it a squiggle, then putting the sari silk beside it so that it's kind of peeking out from underneath the sari silk. Now where are you off to? What did you go for at this point? Oh, I decided thread. I decided I was going to use thread rather than sari silk, didn't I? So I decided, because the sari silk was still kind of a bit in your face, so I decided I would use thread instead of sari silk. So I got some purple thread, and then I got some light kind of browny, purpley, pinky thread, and just did the two of those together. So it's a good collection of thread. Then to stick the die cut on, and then I decided that down the bottom I would put a bit of sari silk across and just tie a knot in it, so that it was like the flowers were all bundled up in the bit of sari silk, tied up with a bit of sari silk. And that's what I'm doing here. And I think that one finished off that. Oh, I did end up putting a label on that one, didn't I? Or did I? Can't remember. When we get to that bit, I'll remember and we'll see it. And now what am I doing? I'm prevaricating again about whether to even do another one, I think. I'm moving things around. Oh my God, I think I was speaking to you. Oh, this is when I put the label on. I was prevaricating about whether to put a label on or not. So much prevaricating, so little crafting going on here. Which is why I just thought it's interesting. I don't know if it's interesting for you. It's interesting for me because it actually shows me. See, that's the one I decided to put the label on. I decided not to put the label. Oh, I'm now going to draw a line around that one rather than put the label. I decided to put a kind of sketchy line round about it rather than stick a label on it. Why? I don't know, but that's what I decided to do. And this one, I then decided to go kind of left field and use the other one with a label on top of it and a bit of sari silk behind it, which I really like. The fact it's kept the theme of using the sari silk, using the Seth Apta dyes, but doing it in a different way in each of the three belly bands. Then I stuck one of the labels from the kit over the top of it, and then I went back to the black. Why is there with me these black die cut flowers? I knew they weren't going to work, but did it some? Oh, why did I move that? You may well ask. I moved that because I thought, well, you might be wondering what that is. Yes, exactly. It's die cut fish and small fish and small bats, and that's so that they don't get caught up in other things. Finally, I decide I'm going to do the same at the bottom that I did at the top. So I do the same at the bottom, the same but different at the bottom as I did at the top. I really like the fact that ended up being top to tail like that. And then, of course, I've got to addition labels, haven't I? I can't just say that's the label I'm going to put the addition of the label on. Now I decide I'm going to do something with, this is the faux mica and tape kit from Tracie, and I decide I'm going to stick some of those faux tape bits on top of the tape bits that are there on that one, and then I decide I'm going to do it on the other one as well, because let's go back to the one we've already supposedly finished. I decide I'm not doing it on the other one. I don't know what's happening at the moment. I went away looking for bits again. Why did I do that? Because I thought I might put a bit on there. Oh dear. And then I had common sense and moved them out the way. I moved them out the way. I can remember why I moved them. I moved them out the way because I thought, well, maybe after I finish doing this, I can put them in between some of the faux mica, and then I've got them to use in the journal. Then I decided I wanted to use this stamp rather than the label on this kit, so I put that stamp down, and I love that stamp on there. I just think it makes that one different. And then I started putting everything away. So thank you so much for watching. The lesson is mine to learn that if I'm going to do a 10-minute make, I really need to do something that's capable of being done in 10 minutes and not prevaricate during it. You take care. We'll see you very soon. Bye for now. Keep crafting.